All right, so this is a hammock I've been working on a little bit here and there on my spare time. That's why if you've seen pictures of it up till now, that's why it's taken so long, because I'm just something been doing on my spare time. It's made with Prym1 fabric. This is a custom version of our polar bear, and the person that this hammock is going to does a lot of stealth camping and stuff, and so this ought to be pretty nice for that. I'm going to show you a few features of the top cover, and then I'm going to take the top cover off and then show you the bug net. The bug net on this, instead of just being black net, it's got the Prym1 pattern printed onto the bug net, so it looks pretty cool. So the bug net on this works like all of our other bug nets. The top cover on this works like all of our other top covers. At each corner there's a cam snap, and then down here in the middle there's a cam snap. And you just take if you want to vent it, you can just take this, there's a cam snap up there for each corner. So you can snap it in place and have one corner open, or two, or three, or four, however many you want to open. They'll all open different, separately. Another option for venting, I'll show you up here, because this is the head end of the hammock. If you unhook the mitten hook that holds each end up, and you roll this underneath to here, there's toggles right here where these loops are at. You take the toggle and put it through the loop on the bug net, and then put it through the loop on the top cover. And that allows you some extra bending, like if you want to do it at your head end, or you could do it at the foot end too. I'll turn this camera a little bit. I don't know if you can see it there. So now that opens up this to allow you some extra bending for condensation and everything to escape. If you wanted to do, instead of just doing the corners like that, if you wanted to open up the whole front of it. Right in these toggles, because if you want to, you could roll this up and take the toggle and just put it up through through this loop on top. And then you can roll this up and get it out of your way. It allows you to have a little bit of extra ventilation. You can open up one whole half of it, or you can roll up both sides and just keep it totally rolled up. Like during the day, if it's warm but you know it's going to get cooler at night, you can roll up both sides and allow that air flow through, and then whenever it gets cold, when the temperature starts dropping, just pop that off and let it drop down, and then fasten the cam snaps, and you're good to go for the night. And like I said, you can open up a corner or two to allow a little bit of condensation through there. So that's the top cover. It's attached with mitten hooks. There's a piece of bungee at the head end and foot end, and the mitten hooks just clip on there. There's a separate stuff sack in here for it. And whenever you get this hammock, the stuff sack and these tie outs will be in your book bag inside the hammock. That's where I'm going to keep them at. So right now I'm going to take this off, take the top cover off, and then I'll show you the rest of it. Okay, so that's your top cover in your in the stuff sack, and all the stuff sacks on this thing are made out of silk poly, the same as that top cover. So if you lay them down on the ground or whatever, if the ground's a little damp, it'll protect your stuff a little bit better. So this is the top cover. I mean, the bug net has that Prym1 printed camouflage on it, and I'm not sure if you can see that, so I'm gonna take a look at the camera real quick. Bring the camera up here closer so you can see it. Yeah, it's got the Prym1 pattern printed onto the fabric, so it's not just a black net, it's got that pattern printed on there, so helps kind of make it blend in a little bit. And while I'm up here with the camera, this is the elastic for the top cover. The mint hooks just clip on there. We have our Ursa system. I know the person that's getting this has really nice underquilts, and more importantly has a lot of experience putting the underquilts on, so might not need this feature at all. But it was designed to, these are the underquilt hooks, but sometimes you need a little bit more lift, so you can take it and clip it up into here on each side. And they're also used to, just like if you got something random thing you want to hang up there while you're camping to get it up off the ground or something, you know, they're also used for that. But when you get this hammock, if you don't have a use for them, you know, just take them off and take off the carabiners and use them for whatever. But they're on there just because that's one of the standard features of the grizzly and the polar bear. These are the toggles down here, and then the loop I was talking about on the bug net. The top cover is the same way, so this bug net will roll up just like the top cover. You can roll up one side or both sides, and so that's a feature of it I really like. Your zipper pulls, they're black and they're reflective, and what I did on the inside is, as you can see, they're bright on the inside, because in the middle of the night when you're waking up, you know, you got to go to the bathroom, whatever, and you're fumbling around half asleep, it's a little bit easier to find them. But you know, when you get, after you've been up and used the bathroom and stuff, when you're going back to bed, you're a little bit more awake, and it'll be easier to find these. And they are really reflective when the light hits them. You can see them. And I didn't want to put the bright ones on the outside, because then that would compromise your position. Everybody would see you from miles away with them fluorescent ones. And speaking of that, the tie-outs are also black, and they're also reflective. So most people, that from what I've seen, including my own experience, a lot of people order these tie-outs and pull-outs. They're called different things, but the same thing. And think they're going to like them, and they try them once or twice, and then they just say, no, it's just not my thing. So that's the same thing that happened to me. I just ended up not using it. But if you decide that you do like using these things and you want a brighter color, so it's easier to see in the daytime, just let me know. We can take care of that. And I'm pretty sure that you're familiar with the line locks, but this line lock just clips onto the mitten hook there, and all you got to do to tighten it is if you lift it up. Hang on. Okay, so yeah, they just clip on here. The line lock clips onto the mitten hook, and if you want to loosen it up, just tilt this thing up so it's like 90 degrees to the line. Just tilt that up, and it'll let the line loose, and as soon as you let go, it locks it in place. And then if you want to tighten it, just tilt it up 90 degrees to the line and pull it tight and let go, and it locks it in place. I'm pretty sure you know how to do the line locks, but just in case, that's that. And then we got some of the other standard features are, you know, we've got these mitten hooks, I mean these BCDs for the tie outs, and we've got 2 quilt hooks on there. The lower one's for a three-quarter quilt, and the upper one's for a full quilt is what they're for. You got, of course, the line up here. Most important part of the whole hammock right there, MCN Hammocks, made in the USA. So yeah, I'll show you. Let me step back here out of the way. Oh, and if you've noticed my fancy pants, my shorts here, sure would be nice if I knew somebody that could sew. Yeah. Last thing I want to do after sewing everybody else's gear is to sew my clothes. But yeah, this, you can roll this up, get it out of your way. Just like the standard, you know, grizzly and polar bears and stuff that we have, it's got these tie-outs on it for the net. Works the same way as the top cover. You can roll it one side or both sides. This is really nice with the bug net because you can get in here and get your gear, your sleeping bag, quilt, whatever, get it all situated or whatever you got to do. And if you just want to sit and relax, you can sit back in a hammock, the net's out of your way. And if you roll it both sides, if the bugs aren't bad, you get more of a breeze blowing through there, and the whole net will be out of your way. It's got the toggle on the other side, hanging in the same spot for this side of the net. You got a book bag here. This bag is clipped on here. We have different clips along on the head and foot end, so you can put it wherever you want. But generally speaking, if you lay head right, put it on the head left. That way when that fabric raises up, it'll bring that book bag up there, and you can put, you know, whatever you want to put in there. We got the same hooks and stuff down to foot in, so you can hang, you know, just any random thing you might want to just, if you got some little stuff sack or little bag, you want to clip it up in there so it's easy to get to and you can find your stuff, you know, just places to hang just random things. And we'll be coming out with some more accessories later that you can also add to the hammock at some point. But that's pretty much it. This thing, oh, and your top cover, because I know you do a lot of stealth camping, so like if it's warm and you don't really need the top cover, you know, I got it in a separate stuff sack so you could leave it at home, but also you might use it to kind of hide your kayak or something. You know, I know this isn't as long as your kayak, but it could cover a big chunk of it, you know, or whatever other gear. If you wanted to kind of get it out of sight or wherever, you can use that top cover for that too. It's another option. But that's it. Oh, this suspension, the suspension on this thing, we got whoopee slings. I mentioned to you at one point, the person that's getting this, you know, continuous loops or cinch buckles, and you were kind of hesitant on both of them. And then I got to thinking that most of the stuff that you use, it's with whoopee slings and stuff. So I built 2 whoopee slings for it. The gray, I got gray on one end, and that's your head end. And that's because like the book bag and stuff, you know, you want to know where that's at on your head end. So your head end is gray, and and the foot end is black. And in case you forget which one is which, the beads that are on the whoopee slings, I put red on the gray and black on the black. The red on the gray is red as head, so the gray whoopee sling with the red bead, that's your head end of the hammock when you pull it out of the stuff sack. Okay, so that's it. This hammock with top cover and all that everything that you see here, it came out to 1 pound and 15 ounces total, with the whoopee slings and stuff, not the tree straps. Those are mine, but the whoopee sling suspension and top cover and everything, 1 pound 15 ounces. Yeah, I hope you like it. Let me know when you get it what you think of it. And got everything. Your top cover will be on there when you get it, and these cords for the pullouts, they'll be inside your book bag. along with the stuff sack for the top cover. It'll be inside your book bag there. And the carabiners, you know, if you use them for your underquilt or for just random things, cool. If you don't need them, cool, take them off and just, I don't know, use them for keychains or some other random stuff, you know. But that's it. Hope you like it. It's a really cool hammock, man. I like this Prym1 camouflage. I couldn't film this out in the field on our post where I normally film it. I had to at least show it the respect, you know, with that camouflage to get out actually into the woods to film it. So anyway, hope you like it. Thanks. One thing I forgot to mention was these pleats in the bug net. I generally speaking, before I started doing it this way, I don't really like hammocks with zip-on bug nets because they kind of restrict the movement of the material to some extent, and I prefer netless hammocks. But putting these pleats in there, it allows when you get near the edge of the material, it allows the material to move itself, and without these pleats in there, if you pushed out on this side, it would just pull the bug net from the other side of the ridge line to kind of make up that slack. So it's tighter and more uncomfortable that way. The pleats help out with that. Now, the one thing I don't like about the pleats is I like a prettier bug net. You know, it's all nice and wrinkle free and all that kind of stuff, but I think it's worth it to have these pleats in here for the comfort. It's something I've done on the last 4 or 5 hammocks I've made, and I really like it.